I walked in on my wife's betrayal, and my world imploded. No warning, no apologies, just her, tangled up with some slick corporate hotshot in our own home. I didn't scream or fight. I grabbed my keys, left my ring on the counter, and vanished into the night. A year later, she tracked me down, begging for a second chance with a secret so wild it'll make your jaw drop. This is my story, and trust me, you won't see the end coming. My name's Jake, and I thought I had it all. Married to Sarah for 4 years, we were the couple everyone envied. I was a freelance cybersecurity consultant, working remote half the time, jetting off for client meetings the other half. Sarah? She was a rising star at a fancy marketing firm, always dressed to kill, charming every room she walked into. We met at a rooftop party 6 years ago, sparks flying over cheap wine and bad karaoke. She laughed at my terrible dance moves, and I was hooked. Within a year, we were engaged, dreaming of a big house, kids, the whole deal. But cracks started, showing after year 3. Sarah's job got intense. Late nights, client dinners, weekend team retreats. I'd be home cooking her favorite pasta, only for her to breeze in, say she's exhausted, and crash in the guest room. Our bedroom felt like a museum exhibit, untouched. I tried talking, but she'd snap, saying I didn't get her. Grind. I was no saint, gone for days on gigs, but I cut back, thinking it'd fix us. Spoiler, it didn't. The first red flag hit in June 2022. I was grabbing her car keys from her SUV for a quick errand. Something sparkly caught my eye. Under the passenger seat, a lacy red thong, one I'd bought her for Valentine's Day. My stomach churned. Sarah never left her stuff lying around. She was meticulous, almost obsessive. Why was this here? My brain screamed, excuse, but my heart wasn't ready to believe it. I stuffed it in my pocket, said nothing, and waited. Sarah came home. That night all smiles, acting like everything was fine. I played along, but my gut was in knots. Over the next week, I noticed more. Her phone glued to her hand, sneaky smiles at texts she wouldn't show me, and a new perfume I didn't recognize. I'm not the jealous type, but this was different. She was slipping away, and I needed proof before I lost my mind. One night, she said she had a work thing at a downtown bar. I nodded, kissed her cheek, and let her go. But I wasn't. Staying home. I slipped my old burner phone into her purse when she wasn't looking. Thank you, cybersecurity skills. And tracked it. 20 minutes later, she was at a swanky lounge, not the dive bar she'd mentioned. I parked across the street, heart pounding like a drum. An hour later, she walked out, arm in arm with a guy in a tailored suit. He looked like he belonged on a yacht, not in my wife's orbit. They laughed, leaned in close, and then he kissed her. Right there, under the neon lights. My world tilted. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my knuckles went white. They climbed into his sleek black car and peeled out. I followed, numb, as they pulled into a boutique hotel 10 minutes away. Hand in hand, they disappeared inside. I didn't storm, and I didn't call her. Something in me just broke. I drove, no destination, until I ended up at a dusty roadhouse an hour out of town. The bartender, a gruff woman named Maggie, slid me a whiskey without asking. "You look like you just lost your dog, hun," she said. I laughed, bitter, and spilled the whole story to her and some guy named Tom nursing a beer next to me. Tom, a weathered rancher type, listened quietly, then clapped my shoulder. "Buddy, you got 2 choices. Let this ruin you, or take the reins and start over. Your call." His words hit like a lightning bolt. I didn't want to be the guy crying. Into his drink forever. Tom mentioned he had a cabin on his land, nothing fancy, but private, with a view of the mountains. "Needs some fixing, but it's yours if you want it. Cheap, get your head straight." Maggie nodded, chiming in. Hell, I'd have killed for a hideout when my ex pulled his crap. It felt like fate, or at least a lifeline. I swapped numbers with Tom and crashed at a motel, my mind racing. The next morning I went home. Sarah was there, acting normal, asking where I'd been. I stared at her, the woman I loved, and felt nothing but disgust. "Out," I said, dodging her questions. She pushed, saying I was paranoid, but I didn't bite. Instead, I started planning. Over the next week while she was at work, I quietly moved my essentials, laptop, clothes, a few keepsakes, to a storage unit. I didn't touch our shared stuff. No drama, no note. Just gone. When Sarah left for a work trip the following week, I saw my chance. I loaded my truck, drove to Tom's land, and settled into the cabin. It was a rickety thing, but the air was clean, the stars bright. For the first time in months, I could breathe. Sarah's texts started rolling in. "Where are you? Why aren't you answering?" Then calls, voicemails, even her mom blowing up my phone. I ignored them all. Her final message a week later admitted it. I messed up, Jake. It was a mistake. Please come home. A mistake? Months of lies, and she calls it a mistake. I blocked her number, changed mine, and cut her out like a cancer. I wasn't proud of ghosting, but I owed her nothing. She'd torched our life, our plans for a family, a home, everything. I wasn't going back. Life in the mountains was simple. I fixed up the cabin, ran trails at dawn, and worked remote gigs. Tom and his crew became my people, sharing beers and stories around bonfires. I even met a girl, Lily, a free-spirited artist who called me Mountain Jake and made me laugh again. No strings, just good vibes. I was healing, building something new. Then a year later, I saw her, Sarah, in my town, at my coffee shop, like a ghost from a nightmare. She didn't see me, but my blood ran cold. How the hell did she find me? I slipped out, heart racing, but I knew this wasn't over. What she did next and the secret she's hiding will blow your mind. I thought I'd escaped Sarah's betrayal, rebuilding my life in the mountains after catching her cheating. But there she was, in my quiet town, her face like a punch to the gut. I dodged her at the coffee shop, but I knew she wasn't done. What she did next, and the insane secret she dropped, turned my world upside down again. Buckle up, because this story's about to take a turn you won't believe. After spotting Sarah, I hightailed it back to my cabin, my safe haven. The mountains, the trails, the solitude, they'd healed me. I wasn't about to let her ruin that. But my phone pinged that night. An email from an unknown address. Jake, I know you're here. I need to talk, please. My blood boiled. How did she find me? I deleted it, but another came the next day. I'm not leaving until we talk. You deserve the truth. Truth? She didn't know the meaning of the word. I tried to shake it off, focusing on work and runs, with Lily, the artist I'd been seeing casually. Lily was sunshine, carefree, with a laugh that made everything lighter. She sensed something was off, though. You look like you saw a ghost, Mountain Jake, she teased over coffee. I brushed it off, but Sarah's shadow was creeping in. I couldn't tell Lily yet. This was my mess to fix. By the weekend, I had to face reality. I went to town for groceries, sticking to my routine. Big mistake. As I loaded my truck, I heard her voice. Jake! Sarah sprinting across the street, her eyes wild with desperation. I froze, trapped. She looked different, thinner, her usual polish faded, but still beautiful in a way that stung. Please, just hear me out, she begged, hands trembling. Against every instinct, I nodded. 5 minutes, that's it. We sat on a park bench, her perfume bringing back memories I'd buried. She launched into an apology, tears streaming. I screwed up, Jake. The affair, it wasn't what you think. I was lost, stressed, and he manipulated me. I scoffed. Manipulated? She wasn't some naive intern, she was a shark at her firm. But she kept going, saying her affair partner, Ethan, was a senior exec who'd promised her a promotion. It was a power play, not love. I ended it the second you left. I wasn't buying it. You lied for months, Sarah. You chose him, over me. Her face crumpled, but she didn't deny it. Then came the bombshell. There's more, she whispered, looking away. After you left, I found out I was pregnant. My heart stopped. Pregnant? She rushed on. It wasn't yours, it was his. I didn't keep it. I couldn't. The air left my lungs. I stared, numb, as she sobbed. I'm not telling you this to hurt you, I needed you to know everything. I stood, pacing, my mind a war zone. A kid? Even if it wasn't mine, the betrayal cut deeper. She'd built a whole secret life. While I was planning our future. Why are you here, Sarah? I demanded. She wiped her tears, voice steadying. Because I love you. I know I destroyed us, but I've changed. I quit my job, cut Ethan out. I want a second chance. Not to erase the past, but to build something new. I laughed, bitter. You think I'd trust you again? You torched our life. She grabbed my arm, eyes pleading. I'll do anything, Jake. Therapy, moving here, whatever it takes. I know you're happy now, but we were good once. We could be again. I pulled away, her touch burning. We're done, you need to leave. But she shook her head. I'm staying in town until you talk to me. Really talk. I walked away, her voice echoing behind me. Back at the cabin, I cracked. A beer, staring at the stars, pregnant. The word haunted me. I didn't want her back, but her confession stirred something. Anger, sure, but also questions. What else was she hiding? I couldn't shake the feeling she wasn't done dropping bombs. The next day, Lily showed up, her usual grin gone. Saw you with some woman in town, she said, arms crossed. My stomach sank. I told her everything. Sarah, the affair, the pregnancy bombshell. Lily listened, then hugged me. You don't owe her anything, Jake. But you need to shut this down, or she'll keep haunting you. She was right. Sarah wasn't just here to apologize. She was on a mission. Monday brought another email. Jake, I found something you need to see. It changes everything. Meet me at the diner tomorrow, 7 p.m. I swear it's not a trick. Attached was a grainy photo, a document with my name on it. My pulse raced. What the hell was this? A legal paper? A scam? I didn't trust her, but curiosity gnawed at me. Against my better judgment, I decided to go. Not for her, for answers. I told Tom and Maggie at the roadhouse, and they were Team Jake all the way. Watch your back, Tom warned. She's playing games. Maggie nodded. Don't let her suck you in, hun. You're stronger than that. Their support grounded me, but I couldn't shake the dread. Sarah had something up her sleeve, and I was walking into her trap. The diner meeting loomed, and I steeled myself. Whatever she had, I'd face it head on. But what she revealed next wasn't just a secret. It was a betrayal so twisted, it made her affair look like child's play. Sarah's return was a grenade, and her pregnancy confession lit the fuse. Now she'd lured me to a diner with a cryptic email and a photo of a document with my name on it. I didn't trust her, but I needed answers. What I uncovered wasn't just a secret. It was a betrayal so vile it made her affair look tame. This story's about to explode, and you won't believe what's next. I walked into the diner at 7 p.m. sharp, my nerves like live wires. Sarah sat in a corner booth. Her eyes red, a manila envelope in front of her. She looked small, almost fragile, but I wasn't falling for it. Jake, thank you, she said, voice shaky. I slid into the seat opposite, arms crossed. Show me what you've got and make it quick. She nodded, sliding the envelope across the table. It's why I'm here. I opened it, my hands steady despite the storm inside. Inside was a stack of papers, bank statements, emails, and a notarized letter. My name jumped out, tied to an account I'd never seen. What is this? I asked, voice low. Sarah swallowed hard. It's a trust fund, set up in your name, by Ethan. My blood ran cold. Ethan, her affair partner? Why the hell would he do that? I demanded. She looked down, tears falling. It's guilt money. After you left, Ethan's life fell apart. His fiancée dumped him when I told her about us. His firm demoted him. He came to me drunk, saying he owed you for ruining your life. He set this up, $500,000, Jake. For you. I didn't know until a month ago when his lawyer contacted me. I stared at the papers, my mind reeling. $500,000? From the guy who slept with my wife? I shoved the papers back. This is a bribe. You think I'd take his dirty money? Sarah shook her head, desperate. It's not about the money. I brought it to show you I'm trying to fix things. Ethan's gone, Jake. He moved to Europe. Cut all ties. This is yours legally. I thought it could be a fresh start for us. Her voice broke, but I wasn't moved. Us? There is no us, I snapped. You're delusional. She grabbed my hand and I yanked it away. Jake, please. I know I hurt you, but I've lost everything. My job, my friends, my self-respect. I ended the pregnancy because I couldn't face raising his kid alone. I'm begging for a chance. To make this right. Her sobs drew stares, but I felt nothing but rage. You don't get to play victim, I said. You chose this, and now you're dangling money to buy me back? Pathetic. I stood to leave, but she called out, There's more. The trust, it's not just money. I froze. What else? She hesitated, then pulled out another document. It's tied to a property, a cabin in the mountains. Ethan's family owned it. He transferred it to the trust before he left. My stomach dropped. A cabin? In my mountains? Where is it? I asked, dreading the answer. She named a ridge 5 miles. From my place, too close. I sat back down, my head spinning. So what? You thought you'd show up with this and I'd forgive you. Move into some creep's cabin with you. Sarah shook her head. No, I just wanted you to have options. I know you love it here. I thought maybe we could start over, somewhere new, together. Her voice was desperate, but I saw through it. This wasn't about me, it was about her guilt, her need to rewrite the story. I took the papers not because I wanted the money or the cabin, but because I needed time to think. I'm not promising anything, I said, standing again. Stay out of my life, Sarah. She nodded, tears streaming, but I didn't look back as I walked out. The night air hit me like a slap, and I drove to Tom's ranch needing a friend. Over whiskey, I told him everything, the trust, the cabin, Sarah's pleas. Tom whistled. That's a hell of a curveball, Jake. What's your move? I didn't know. The money was tempting. Freedom, security, a chance to expand my cybersecurity business. But it was tainted. tied to the man who'd wrecked my marriage. The cabin? That felt like a trap. Like Ethan was still mocking me from across the ocean. And Sarah, her love felt like a performance, a last-ditch effort to salvage her ego. I crashed at Tom's, the papers burning a hole in my bag. The next morning, Lily texted, "Heard you were at the diner with her. You okay?" I called her, spilling the whole mess, the trust, the cabin, Sarah's sob story. Lily was quiet, then said, "Jake, she's not here for you. She's here for absolution. Don't let her steal your peace." Her words hit hard. Lily was right. Sarah wasn't my problem anymore. But the trust fund and cabin? They were loose ends I couldn't ignore. I decided to dig. Using my cybersecurity skills, I traced the trust's origins. What I found made my skin crawl. The account wasn't just Ethan's guilt money. It was linked to a shell company under investigation for fraud. Ethan hadn't left for Europe. Fittings were loose. This wasn't just a payout, it was a setup, and I was the target. Sarah's gift was a ticking time bomb, and I was holding it. Sarah's trust fund bombshell was a gut punch, but my cybersecurity digging revealed it was worse. A setup tied to a shady shell company. Ethan, her affair partner, wasn't just paying guilt money. He was dragging me into a fraud scheme. Sarah swore she was here to make amends, but I smelled a rat. What she did next wasn't just desperate. It was a betrayal so twisted it'll leave you speechless. Hold on tight. This is about to get wild. I holed up in my cabin, the trust fund papers spread across my table like a crime scene. My laptop hummed as I hacked deeper into the shell company's records. The trust's funds traced back to offshore accounts, flagged for money laundering. Ethan's generous $500,000, likely dirty cash, meant to pin me as a fall guy if the feds came knocking. The cabin in the mountains, deeded to the trust, but its title was tangled in legal disputes. Accepting either would tie me to Ethan's mess. Sarah's role in this gnawed at me. Was she a pawn, or was she playing me? Her tearful diner act felt rehearsed now. I texted Tom, asking him to meet me at the roadhouse. Bring Maggie, I added. I needed their no-nonsense takes. Over beers, I laid it out. The trust, the fraud, the cabin. Maggie's eyes narrowed. Your ex is either clueless or complicit. Either way, she's trouble. Tom nodded. Burn those papers, Jake. Walk away. But I couldn't, not yet. I needed to confront Sarah. I emailed her, keeping it cold. Meet me at the park tomorrow, noon. No games. She replied instantly, I'll be there, thank you, Jake. I didn't sleep that night, replaying every lie she'd told. Lily called, sensing my stress. Don't let her pull you back in, she warned. You're not her fixer. I promised I'd handle it, but doubt crept in. Sarah had a knack for twisting my emotions, and I couldn't afford to slip. The park was quiet when I arrived, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot. Sarah showed up on time, dressed down in jeans, and a sweater, no trace of her old corporate polish. Jake, I'm so glad, she started, but I cut her off. What's your deal with Ethan's money? The truth, Sarah. Her face paled, but she recovered fast. I told you it's his guilt. I didn't know about the company until his lawyer reached out, I swear. I held up a printout of the shell company's records. This trust is a laundering front. If I touch it, I'm screwed. Did you know? Her eyes widened and she shook her head frantically. No, Ethan never said anything like that. He just wanted to make things right. Her voice cracked, but I wasn't buying the damsel act. Then why push me to take it? Why show up here? Stirring up my life, I demanded. She stepped closer, tears brimming. Because I love you, Jake. I thought the money could give us a new start. Away from the city, away from my mistakes. I laughed, cold. You love me? You slept with him for months, lied to my face, and now you're serving me up to the sea. Fed's real romantic. She flinched, but then her expression shifted. Harder, calculating. You're wrong about me, she said. But if you don't want the money, fine. I'll take it. That stopped me cold. Take it, she nodded, defiant. Ethan's lawyer said I could claim it if you refused. I need it, Jake. I'm broke, jobless. You're set here. Give me this. My jaw dropped. This wasn't about love. It was a shakedown. She'd played the heartbroken ex to guilt me, but the second I pushed back, her mask slipped. You're unbelievable, I said, turning to leave. She grabbed my arm. Wait, there's something else. I should have walked away, but her tone, urgent, almost scared, hooked me. What? I snapped. She pulled out her phone, showing me a text from an unknown number. Tell him about the trust, or I tell the feds you both knew. My blood froze. Ethan sent this, she whispered. He's not in Europe, he's here, watching us. My head spun. Ethan, here, threatening us. This wasn't just a setup, it was a trap, and we were both caught. Why should I believe? You? I asked, my voice low. She showed me more texts, demands from Ethan to push the trust on me, threats if she didn't comply. He's unhinged, Jake. He blames us for his downfall. I came here to warn you not to hurt you. Her fear seemed real, but I'd been burned before. If this is true, we go to the cops, I said. She shook her head. He'll know. He's got people watching. Paranoid? Maybe, but I couldn't risk it. I told her to stay put and drove to Tom's, my mind racing. Ethan, here, stalking us. I needed a plan. Tom hooked me up with a buddy, a retired PI named Carl, who could dig into Ethan's whereabouts. Carl's first report came fast. Ethan had been spotted in a nearby town, renting a car under an alias. My gut twisted. This was real, and it was escalating. That night, Sarah emailed again. He knows we met. He's coming for you. Please, let me help. I didn't reply, but I locked my cabin tight, my old hunting rifle by the door. The mountains, once my sanctuary, felt like a cage. Ethan's trap was closing, and Sarah was either my ally or my enemy. What he did next and how I fought back will blow your mind. Ethan's shadow loomed over my mountain haven, his fraudulent trust fund a noose tightening around me. Sarah swore she was warning me, not trapping me, but her texts about Ethan stalking us screamed danger. Was she my ally or his pawn? What unfolded next wasn't just a showdown. It was a betrayal so raw it'll sear your soul. Brace yourself. This story's about to detonate. I fortified my cabin, rifle loaded, every creak in the woods setting, my nerves on edge. Ethan was close. Carl, the PI, confirmed he'd been spotted at a motel 20 miles away, using a fake ID. His texts to Sarah were unhinged, blaming us for his ruined life. Jake takes the money, or you both burn. My cybersecurity skills traced his phone to a tower near my town. He wasn't just watching, he was circling. Sarah's latest email begged me to meet her at a remote trailhead at dawn. Ethan's planning something. I can stop him, but I need you there. Every instinct screamed trap, but I couldn't sit idle. I called Tom and Lily my anchors. Tom offered to tail me, armed. Lily, fierce as ever, said, "End this, Jake. Don't let them steal your life." I agreed to the meet, but on my terms, public. Daylight, no surprises. I chose a clearing near the trailhead, visible from the road. Tom parked a quarter-mile back, his truck hidden. At 6 a.m., Sarah arrived alone, her face gaunt. "Jake, thank God," she whispered, stepping close. I kept my distance, scanning the trees. "Where's Ethan?" I demanded. She shook her head. "I don't know. He stopped texting last night. I think he's watching." Her fear seemed real, but I'd been fooled before. She pulled out a USB drive. "This has proof, emails, bank records, everything tying Ethan to the fraud. If we expose him, he's done." I took the drive, wary. "Why not go to the cops yourself?" I asked. Her eyes darted away. "He threatened my family. I needed you to trust me first." I pocketed the drive, unconvinced. "If this is legit, I'll handle it. But you stay away from me." Before she could reply, a twig snapped. I spun, heart pounding, as Ethan stepped from the trees, a pistol glinting in his hand. He looked like hell, unkempt, eyes wild. "You should have taken the money, Jake," he sneered. Sarah gasped, backing toward me. "Ethan, stop," she cried, but he laughed cold. "Shut up, Sarah, you played your part." My blood froze. Her part? "You set me up," I growled at her. She shook her head, tears streaming. "No, I swear." Ethan smirked. "She's good, isn't she? Led you right here." He raised the gun and time slowed. The trust was bait. You'd take it, get arrested for fraud, and I'd disappear. But you're too stubborn, so now you're done. I braced, calculating. Tom was close, but not close enough. Sarah lunged at Ethan, clawing for the gun. "Run, Jake!" She screamed. They grappled, the gun firing into the dirt. I dove behind a boulder, my own pistol drawn from my jacket. Ethan shoved Sarah down, aiming at me. "You're dead!" he roared. But then, crack. A shot rang out from the trees. Ethan staggered, blood blooming on his shoulder, and collapsed. Tom emerged, rifle steady, his face grim. I ran to Sarah, who was sobbing unharmed. "I didn't know he'd do this," she choked. Tom zip-tied Ethan, who groaned, barely conscious. "Cops are coming," Tom said, tossing me his phone. I called 911, my hands shaking. Sarah clung to me, but I pushed her away. "Stay back," I snapped. Her betrayal, real or not, cut too deep. The police arrived, hauling Ethan away. Sarah gave a statement claiming she'd been coerced. I handed over the USB, which held damning evidence. Ethan's fraud, his threats, even proof he'd blackmailed Sarah into luring me. But one file stopped me cold, an email from Sarah to Ethan dated a week ago. "Jake's here, I'll get him to meet. Finish this." My heart sank. She wasn't a victim. She was his partner until she panicked. At the station, Sarah broke down, admitting she'd helped Ethan plan the trust to frame me, hoping to split the money. When Ethan turned violent, she flipped, fearing for her life. "I still love you, Jake," she sobbed. I walked out, her voice echoing. The cops charged her as an accomplice, but I didn't care. She'd burned every bridge. Back at the cabin, I burned the trust papers. The money, the cabin, tainted, all of it. Lily showed up, hugging me tight. "You're free now," she whispered, but freedom felt hollow. Ethan's bullet missed me, but Sarah's betrayal hit dead on. What I did next, and the final twist, will leave you stunned. Ethan's gun and Sarah's lies nearly ended me, but I walked away. Their fraud scheme exposed. She was charged as his accomplice, and I burned the tainted trust fund papers. My mountain life was mine again, but the scars lingered. What happened next wasn't just closure. It was a twist so wild it rewrote my future. This is the end, and it's a bombshell you won't forget. The weeks after the showdown were quiet but heavy. I threw myself into work, running trails and beers with Tom and Maggie. Lily was my rock, her warmth pulling me back from the edge. "You're not that guy anymore, Jake," she said one night, her hand in mine. She was right. I'd survived Sarah's betrayal, Ethan's gun, and their twisted game. But I wasn't whole yet. Then a letter arrived. No return address, just a lawyer's seal. Inside, a bombshell. Ethan's family, desperate to clean up his mess, had dissolved the trust but offered me the mountain cabin. Clean title, no strings. It was worth $200,000, a fortune for a guy like me. My first instinct was to shred it. That cabin was Ethan's ghost, haunting my peace. But Tom grinned over coffee. "Take it, Jake, flip it, make it yours." I wrestled with it for days. Accepting felt like letting Ethan win, but selling it could fund my dreams. A cybersecurity startup, maybe a life with Lily. I drove to the cabin expecting a wreck. Instead, it was stunning. Cedar walls, a deck overlooking the ridge, 10 acres of wild land. For a moment, I saw myself there, free. Then I called a realtor. "List it," I said. No looking back. The sale closed fast, $250,000, more than I'd hoped. I banked it, quit my freelance gigs, and started my company. Lily designed the logo, her artist's touch everywhere. We weren't rushing into anything, but her calling me Mountain Jake felt like home. Sarah's shadow faded, but one last surprise was coming. A month later, Carl, the PI, called. "Got something you need to hear." He dug into Ethan's fraud case and found a recording. Sarah on a jail call, raging to a friend. "Jake thinks he's won, but I'll ruin him. I hid proof he knew about the trust. He'll fry." My blood ran cold. She'd planted fake emails forging my name to frame me if she went down. Carl laughed. "Don't worry, I tipped the feds, she's cooked." The feds raided Sarah's storage unit, finding her evidence, sloppy forgeries that collapsed under scrutiny. Her sentence doubled for obstruction. Ethan, recovering in prison, got life when his fraud linked to cartel money. I was clear, untouchable. Sarah's final stab missed, and I felt nothing. She was gone, a ghost I'd buried. I stood on my cabin's porch one night, Lily beside me, stars blazing. "What now, Mountain Jake?" she asked, smirking. I grinned. "Build. Something real." My startup took off, landing big clients. I bought land near Tom's ranch, planning a house. Simple, open, mine. Lily sketched the plans, her eyes sparkling. No ring yet, but we both knew. To anyone reading this, betrayal burns. But it doesn't define you. Sarah and Ethan tried to break me, but I rose stronger. Let go of the past, seize your future, and don't look back. I'm 33, living my truth, and nobody, not Sarah, not Ethan, can touch that. Thanks for writing this crazy story. Now go chase your own. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought, or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.